Today I'll be talking about the Buccaneers projected rating for Madden NFL 15. Here we start the quarterback position with Josh McCown, Mike Lennon. For speed-wise, most people I would see start with McCown. I don't think he's going to be an 81 overall. And the reason I think that, if you look back at Matt Flynn, I remember him as a backup was around the overall McCown right now, and they brought him down a little bit, and then in recent years he hasn't played as good as that 6 touchdown game he had against the Lions. So he's not even near an 80 now. But I just see McCown being a high 70, around, a little bit higher than Glennon. But for a franchise, you probably want to start Glennon, even though the speed, because McCown he's been in the league for a while. I don't know how he has 77 speed. I don't see him as a good runner in real life, but this game has 77 speed. Let's go to the running back position. You got Doug Martin. If you want speed, you put Jeff Dempson, but you would use online you want to use probably Jeff Demps, maybe Charles Sims, the rookie, and Doug Martin. Also Doug Martin, had the injury last year, so if you're playing with the Bucs a lot, you're gonna probably get him injured a couple times during games, or even in the franchise. So you probably want to use some Sims. I would use more Demps as a returner, but I can see you putting over Sims as your your faster back, or you want to throw. I don't know. But anyway, Doug Martin can catch screens. Any guy here really is a good screen guy. Mike James is your slowest guy, tied by Rainey, but your most power guy I would probably say is Mike James, but I don't see any of these guys really power guys. So that's a weakness for halfback position for the Buccaneers. Let's go fullback. You got Lane and then you got Pryor, but Pryor has the speeds. It really depends. We can look at their block and just compare them. I don't know. It really depends. If you're more of a run blocking guy, Lane's the guy, but the thing is, Pryor's better pass blocker. Plus, he has the speed, so he might even be better in running, even though the stats might not show it. He might get to the blockers faster, so he might be better off in that case. Now, let's go to the wide receiver position. Got very tall guys, but in Madden, the height, I wish height would matter more in Madden. It really does, because you can lob a ball to, these tall receivers, 6'5", you got even tight end Jake 6'7". You lob it up, the 5'10" corner can, out-leap the guy and pick it off, even if they have the same jumping. It really doesn't matter height much. Sometimes you can play a role where you get a spectacular catch, but that's the catch stat. So you got height, they're slower. 90 speed's still pretty good. So I don't know. I see him probably being 89, 88 when the game comes out. Mike Evans, first round pick. Otherwise, you don't have any great speed. Owusu's your fastest. They did lose Underwood, who was, their faster slot guy. But otherwise, you have okay speed. Owusu would be your fastest. I don't know if any, even when the game comes out, I don't know if all these guys are going to be on the roster. He came from the Ravens. He was on the Jaguars, So I don't know if these guys, this is not going to be the final roster. You're not going to have this much receivers, probably going to cut in half. So you're probably going to get these guys, like Murphy and guys like that. And they're great catching traffic guys, so they won't drop the ball that often. But let's go to the tight end. You got a guy with really good catching in Myers, catching traffic. Yes, Fair Jenkins, taller, who's faster. He's really fast for a tight end. Vernon Davis is 90, I believe, so 88's really fast for a tight end. And they got Tim Wright, who was a rookie last year. He played pretty good. So you're pretty good at the tight end position, Franchise, I would start Jenkins and Wright, unless you really like Myers because he can just catch. But that's how I would do it. Let's go to the line. This is a pretty good line. Not the greatest, but, you know, they got some pretty good linemen. And Carl Nix. You know, Deidre Smith coming from the Packers, you know, he's okay. And then, you know, Dotson's the right tackle. They did lose Donald Penn free agency, so they had a better line, I would say, last year. I mean, they upgraded the center position, but it's around the same as last year, pretty much. Then you don't have any great speed here. You know, none of these guys will be a rookie next year, so online you might just want to leave it because, you know, Claiborne has better stats for rushing the passer. And he's the fastest out of the left end. Right end, you got Michael Johnson from free agency coming from the Cincinnati Bengals. There's no reason not to start him, fastest guy for the right end or any of the ends. So I would just leave Michael Johnson. You know, he's a 91 overall. No reason why not to start him. You know, unless you like your guy in franchise, like I'm starting rookies or 1 year guy and that's it. Then maybe you want to get mean somewhat on the field, but still Michael Johnson's just, you know, he's just that good. Plus, you're going to have a few years on the deal, even if you did a Bucs franchise, so he's going to be the starter no matter what. Then you got Gerald McCoy. Playing a 4-3, you probably just leave McDonald as the other defense tackle. They really have no other good ends. Maybe you put Powers, but I don't see him as a defense tackle unless you move Powers to end, make Claiborne a defense tackle. But I would just leave it, unless I would just leave exactly how it is, this defensive line. Middle linebacker is pretty weak all the way around the linebacking core. To see this, I would probably start, especially on a line game, the 87 speed. Let's go to middle linebacker, Mason Foster. I would start him. He's also faster than Munoz, so just leave it. Vontae David, absolutely one of the best in the league, fastest too. Start him. Let's go to the corners. Alshon Werner from free agency, coming from the Titans, made the Pro Bowl. I don't know if he's going to stay the same overall, but at least I think down the stretch, I don't think he's going to have the year he did. He had a great year. He kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, he's been in the league for a few years with the Titans, so I just don't see him being an 86 at the end of next year. But he could come in the game as an 86 round. And then the other corners, you know, Mike Jing come from the Raiders, who also played in the Cowboys, you know, 2 years back and for a few years there. He's the fastest out of the corners, at least for the top corners. And then it's pretty much, maybe you want to start Carr. I mean, these guys are rookies, so maybe you want to put them on your team just because of speed over Leonard Johnson, because these guys are all 73s or under. That's how I at least do it, especially because Carr, at least in most defenses, the third guy is the nickel, or at least will cover the slot guy. So, you know, 94 speed, usually a slot receiver faster, you should be pretty good then. You put Carr as your third corner. That's if he makes the roster. Let's go to, you know, free safety Golson. He's dropped an overall since, you know, being very, very good with the 49ers. Still, you want to start him, even though, like, maybe you want to put, you know, Bradley there, just because, I mean, but he's not faster, unless you, like, really don't like Golson, you just want a franchise with a younger player, there you go. You got that. You know, Mark Barron, I would leave it. You don't want to start Major Wright and Tandy. I meant they're the same experience at least, and Mark Barron's younger, so start Mark Barron. He was a first round pick. You know, pretty good, strong safety. Let's go to the kicker, Connor Barb. Not a strong legged kicker, so it's kind of accurate, but and then otherwise not very good for Madden at least. And Conan, you know, okay punter. So for the Bucks, overall wise, they were 75 last year. I think they're a 77. I'm going to put them as that. I see them getting a couple upgrades, but not much. It's almost the same thing. You got a better coach. You got Lummy Smith. So they could improve. I'm just seeing that division. I don't see him doing much. Plus, I don't know who the starter will be. Go around 6-10. I think that's what they were last year. Go with that. Thanks for watching, and bye.